Welcome back. This is probably, I think this is number four. This is our 20 versus 20 multiple core collaboration to try it out. That ended up being a great success. If you've watched the other videos, the overview, and the other two that I made about the battles to the northeast and southeast, you'll know kind of what's going on in the background and see what is what's going on the west side of the map. Now that's going to be our focus. So on the west side of the map, there's five planets. The three that are going to be important are this level 10 ISS, this level 5, and Digitalis, this level 5. These are the three planets that we chose to take. We wanted the level 10. We were willing to accept the level 5 up here at Digitalis, but we were bound and determined to use this side of the map. And we did, but not the way we were planning because of the length of the battle. So let's go ahead and speed it up and get everybody kind of close to their position. Once more, I'd like to reiterate that we use a defensive line, and typically our opponents bunch together, and I don't agree with that. It just makes it really, really difficult to do anything. Okay, so when we started the White Star and started seeing where everybody was going to end up, we were a little, more than a little, concerned just because of the volume of enemies that we had on what we thought was the west side of the map. There were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 13 battleships close to or heading to this level 10. And needless to say, we were a little uncomfortable just because of lack of experience. We had never done anything quite this large, so we didn't know what the tactics were going in. We had some ideas, but our plan was to basically just kind of respond to what they did. We didn't really want to engage them. We just wanted them to come to us, and I think that worked out pretty well in this instance. A big bonus to what we achieved here was because of our group of support ships at the gate launching rockets. Some people don't agree with that. They think it's unfair, but it's part of the game mechanic, and if the developers didn't want us to do it, I wouldn't be in there. So, there you go. So, let's go ahead and get started. They immediately take the level 10 because it's closer than it is to them than it is to us. And then we start seeing kind of what their plan is going to be. We've got one, two battleships heading in from the sector below, and we've got one, two, three, four, five battleships at the level 10 already and already plotting moves. We walked in carrying blast shield because of their amount of destiny they have. I don't know if that worked out the way we wanted it to, because originally we were just going to have them sit on our transports and miners. There wasn't really a we didn't think we were going to be using it in an actual battle. We were just kind of wanting to protect the stray rocket or something like that. But let's go ahead and watch some of this unfold, because this is actual, like, what I would consider a true battle where you're using tactic versus tactic. Not like what's going on the east side right now, where it's all barriers and leaps and destinies. This is actually some by the minute decision making going on. So we've got a battery 10 with destiny, barrier, and teleport. We've got a battery 10 with bond. That's something new that we haven't seen much of. I think this was our first white star where we saw it. Barrier 5 and teleport 8. And then one barrier 7, kind of the same level of technology that we carry on a regular basis. And then this battery 9, right off the gate, I don't understand why Shady D is going west. I don't know what the strategic value is there. I I don't agree with it. If you're already at the 10, just stay there, because that transit time that you're taking could be, they might need you in that little window that you're traveling. But anyway, we'll go ahead and speed it up just a little bit. So he's heading right for us, and we're not okay with that. So we're gonna go ahead and start by using our first barrier. We're gonna try to isolate who we engage and when we engage them. And right now we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 versus what looks like 3. And I feel like if they went all in, they probably would have done better. It would have been a lot harder of a battle to manage. I don't know if there's any disagreement in our core about that, but that's how I feel. If you're gonna fight, you need to fight. If you're gonna defend, then defend. But you can't you can't just sit there and watch while your biggest heavy hitters are dying. That we typically will send in our lower tech guys to EMP or drop a barrier or something, especially against the enemy. Because if your low tech guy dies, he can at least disable the enemy before they go out with a bang. So this guy is stuck in a barrier, and one of our battleships is kind of making a strafing attack. I think there's a lot of EMPs and barriers that happen here, and I'm trying to catch them as they happen. Okay, so the first barrier drops, and part of what's going on is we're trying to change the targeting of several ships. Instead of getting stuck, getting beat on by two guys with battery 10 the whole fight, we're trying to mix it up, kind of like what we do with a Colossus. You bounce a battleship in and out. That was the plan anyway. We're trying to shoot rockets in to distract and confuse and maybe intimidate, and it works on Cyprus. I think, let's see, that's Caprica, so Caprica is going to knock Cyprus down a little bit. I don't remember who's the first death here. Several battleships die, though. This battle is really long and painful. This move here, I don't understand. We stopped it with a barrier, but I don't know what they were going to do, so it doesn't matter. I guess. I was curious, though. So the first Bat 10 is getting close to death. We've got we've got one of our corporation leaders. His health is down pretty low. I don't know if I agree with using remote repair right there, because someone will have to correct me, but I think remote repair affects everyone inside the circle, like time warp. I could be wrong. Anyway, I think he dies. I don't know where he went. I thought for a second that he destinied, but yeah, there he is. He destinied. I think that's kind of a, that's an okay move, I guess. No, that's the battleship from the other battle. One's over there. Okay, so the first death was on their side, and I think shortly after that we lose one. Where's he at? Okay. Okay, so we got one death so far. We've got 1, 2, 3 barriers up, lots of rockets inbound, and you can see we're starting to consolidate our forces to protect this planet level 5. We've kind of given up on the 10, not completely, but enough to go ahead and make some adjustments. And then Cyprus dies, so Cyprus and one of their Bat 10 guys dies, so that's 2 down. I think because they didn't come in force, they're coming in piecemeal, which is perfect for us. We've got Duthon teleporting away to get out of it. I think he dies though. Yeah, he's toast. So that's our first loss on our side, battleship wise. And then I haven't seen an EMP yet. I think that comes in a little bit later. But okay, so we've got. It's such a mess. This was a lot easier to digest when you could watch it over time. Who's teleporting? Okay, so we got one teleporting to the planet level 10. I'm assuming to either barrier or EMP. We'll have to see. Let's see. We've got mods being burned all over the place. Let's fast forward a little bit. EMPs, no. Teleport, yes. Okay, so we got Captain Blood is teleporting. Our communication is really good, and we usually have somebody online kind of checking it out during a White Star. So as soon as he teleported, we pinged Lucky Luke and asked him to teleport to intercept. And then one of our lone wolves decided he would help out. Thank you, Lucky Hive Master. Okay, so there's lots of teleports going on, trying to adjust the battlefield to what we want. That's always the goal, and I think we did a really good job. It's just the battle took so long and it was so confusing that it's hard to really know what was going to happen in the end. The time machine's almost useless, especially while the enemy has mods to burn. It just changes everything. Okay, so the enemy EMP'd, I'm assuming to let these 2 battleships kind of be aggressive towards Caprica. But nothing's really changed to the north. I think they're trying to teleport right now. Let's see. Okay, so we got 2 teleports to the north. And then I think one of their guys destinies and lands right here by our gate, and we just rocket him to death in about, I don't know, however long it takes to travel from the gate to right there. It doesn't take long. He's dead almost immediately. I think that's where that first guy destiny to. Okay, so we've got a transport here, and he is running away. And this guy is, I think he's outgunned, I want to say. Let's see. Yep, outgunned sorely. So we've got rockets heading that way. We timed our rockets to their teleports. Teleporting into enemy area is a bad idea. Just like landing in the enemy area with Destiny, bad idea. It takes too long for you to move, and they're just going to rocket you to death unless you have some way to defend yourself. Okay, so this is our blast shield guy. Okay, he's the one that had remote repair. That makes sense. Okay, so what we're trying to do is resolve the rest of this. And one of my biggest confusions, I guess because I don't know their thinking there. They teleported away towards our supports and then came immediately back to the center of what I would consider the fight, the center of the fight. I don't know why though, but we're gonna go ahead and fast forward and keep track of what's going on. Very good play by Caprica using the barrier to stop these battleships from being able to kill him. Excellent use. Okay, you can see Hive Master kind of making their way. Okay, so this guy heading back is used EMP. Okay, he must have used EMP to save himself from the rocket death, which is temporary. I don't really think that that's a permanent solution. This guy got EMP'd by our, so we were planning on rocketing that one to death. I think John dies here, unfortunately. It makes me sad because he was a good guy. Yep, he's almost dead. Somebody EMP'd over here at this planet. I can't. Okay, it had to have been the enemy. The enemy is EMPing there to try to stop or to try to rocket, try to mimic our own tactic. EMP him and then blow him up. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, John's dead, and we got one battleship going to the north and one going to the south. And I think we're getting close to, I think, the halfway mark. They're not sending any more ships in. They're sending everything they got over to this Cabadon that they're trying to get their relics from at this point, which I feel was influenced by their botched assassin job. They lost 4 ships with an 18-hour counter almost immediately, and then got their relic planet that they chose attacked almost immediately after that. So they couldn't keep sending battleships in, so their only alternative was to try to delay us at that point. I feel like we had too much firepower for them to truly have a chance of winning, but we didn't know that going into it. We thought we were going to get a lot more punished than we did. So I don't know what they expect Bond to do. I saw them use it quite a bit, and I don't know why. I guess it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to me. I think because he was okay. That's an okay tactic. So you bond the enemy away, and then they're disabled already because of an EMP. So you bond them away and then backtrack to kill the rockets, which I think, yeah, that's exactly what he did. Good call. I mean, it was effective. It saved his teammate a little bit longer. Not long enough to save him, I don't think. But yeah, they got saved. Good use of bond. I never would have thought to do that. But you can see they're starting to run out of mods and ammunition to win this battle. We through all these EMPs that we're doing, we alert the group of guys launching rockets. We alert them way in advance so that they have time to send rockets everywhere. Something that we also do is when we see a teleport, we try to refresh their disable. So if we have an EMP available, we would rather do that and stop everybody, just to give us time to respond to the teleport if we don't have one available. So they teleport, and then we teleport, and then I think, see if I can catch it. Okay, so it has to be Jan. Jan's the one that does it. Should be right before. We're in 28. Right there. So Jan uses EMP, and they're activating teleport right at that moment. So now 52 can port over there. He's going to finish his teleport, and this guy is disabled for 6 hours. It gives us plenty of time to deal with him. Okay, so now we're starting to get wrapped up on this battle over here. So Let's see. Oh, there's just so much going on this whole game. So BB started out from our gate and went east, and then skirted around the entire edge of the fight, and ended up over here on the southwest sector of the White Star, which I thought was amusing. You know, I didn't think he'd end up on that side. But anyways, he made a big difference. Uh, he used his time warp, and I think he used his teleport, and I think he might have just used his dual lasers. I don't know. He made a big difference over here. He just absolutely murdered like 3 people once those lasers ramped up. Anyway, this is the conclusion of the fight. Everybody's dead or dying, and this one last guy, I don't know why he thought he put the move in, but I don't know why he thought he could get away. So that's it. That was, man, what a mess. I wonder if I go back through I can see anything a little clearer. It's very, very confusing to try to watch on a recording. When we were watching it live, it made a little more sense because, you know, you have it frozen basically while things are happening. You could react to it. But going back and looking at it, it's a mess. Okay, we already talked about those 3. First, there's our destiny from the assassin, Space John. I remember that name. They try to use Bond. That doesn't work. Or it doesn't work the way they want it to. Lots of rockets. There's that Bat-10 I was talking about. He did Destiny, and he's the one I was thinking about earlier that got nuked to the sky by our rocket team. And I had this all zoomed in earlier, but we've already watched it once. So the bigger thing going on up here is that the transports are trying to get out of the way. And I don't think we lost any, which is amazing. I don't think we lost a single support until like the end of the fight. And if you've watched my previous videos, you know that wasn't the case for them. So I think all in all, that battle was interesting. I don't know if I like that kind of large scale brawl. I thought, we succeeded. We did well. I think it has more to do with using our mods efficiently, because we don't try to teleport unless we're far away from somebody's ability to EMP us. So we use tactics like that to try to make the most of what we're trying to do. And a lot of our moves revolve around that. So okay, let's do this. This guy's teleporting. Let's plug in this EMP. We'll send rockets that way. Everything revolves around our Discord chat channels and trying to coordinate who's going to do what and when, and then double, triple checking. And I think that we just did a better job of that. I've preached that in my videos in the past, and it's true here. We communicated better, and we won. I think we have one more battle to discuss. I think it goes on up here. I know that they tried to make one more push towards the end. They saw us collecting relics and thought that they could, I guess, harass us. But by that point, we had already had our solid foothold on that planet. I think you can see. I wish I could turn everybody's shields off. I think you can see after these assassins die that we almost immediately start sending transports, and because we already know we're going to hold that area regardless. Yeah, you can see the transports moving right away. So we know that we can at least hold what we got. We're at this point we're not really afraid of the outcome of the battle. We're pretty confident on what we're capable of. And shout out to the guys working the defense line. They did a really good job of locking in anybody trying to approach our supports. We used barrier, we used our battleships. We did as much as we could to save ourselves, and it worked really well. So I think we dropped off hydrogen, picking up all these relics while this battle's going on to the south. And then I think, yeah, so that's another thing. I said that they came out like one at a time on the other side of the map. I didn't realize they were doing that here too. Every time they would leave the planet, they would leave in like ones or twos or not go the same direction. I don't understand any of that. If you're going to make a push, at least make an intelligent push with more than one person. That way you have to at least acknowledge and try to respond to that. This guy was, we thought was kind of maybe a threat. And then once we got a hold of the battleship at the planet, it was no longer a threat because we had that communicated. And let's see, there were a couple more pushes. I think this guy tried to get in. That didn't work. He got killed. I think one of these battleships came in 3 times. Like he just kept dying. Okay, this is the one I was talking about. They finally made a big push, and I don't even think we took them seriously. We had already had ships on the way. We already had a plan for how we wanted to deal with them, and we executed well, I think. I don't even think they had mass battery on any of them. That's not a good idea. If you're going to try to kill relics, you can't rely on destiny. You'll never get close enough if the guys that you're playing know what they're doing. I don't even want to go into that in any kind of detail. I don't think there was anything spectacular about it. Even some of the moves that were made up here was just a matter of manipulating the time machine to get what you wanted. You just EMP the guy so that the transport can get across. Anyways, that's all for now. I might try to go through it one more time and see if there's anything special. I appreciate anybody that watched this. Um, the the final rush to the gate, I think I'll try to go over, but it's nothing. It's nothing special. It's just a lot of clever mod manipulation and taking a look at the time machine over and over and over again. Thanks again. Hope you enjoy it.